if you're single at the age of 35 and you have no children, no marriage, no divorce, something must be wrong with you.
Oh, yeah.
And I find that so wild because some women just are waiting to get with someone who's appropriate and right because they could have had their own like childhood trauma, but they're like, do you know what? I'm not going to do this to another child.
His and her point of view. In this world where we grew, there's his and her point of view. His and her point of view. In this world where we grew, there's his and her point of view.
Are we in?
His and her point of
Are we
view.
in?
Would you like us to be in?
Are we in?
We are in. We are in.
We're in. I said out. No, I said outside this week. Did you catch me?
Don't do that.
No, because I didn't know the rules. Out. People now say I'm out in it.
Yeah.
So but I thought outside.
Oh, babes.
I didn't know.
Do you know, like, when I give you the title Uncle Aaron, right? Uncle Aaron, it's for a reason, yeah? When you say camcorder and
I don't say
tripod,
camcorder.
You did.
Did I say camcorder?
You did. You said camcorder.
I never said
One of
camcorder.
the episodes, go back and watch it. Why can't you bring a camcorder? I mean a camera. Like, he styled it out.
That's a lie.
And he said tripod.
That's a
He
lie.
bring a tripod to the cinema. I mean to the concert.
Yeah,
and
you
I'm
just messed
like,
up your words.
Anyway,
Ha
shut up.
ha.
Petty whack. Anyway, yeah, you're an uncle basically. It's okay. It's
can
like
you-
boomerang.
Can you
Uncle.
can
Like,
you
this-
introduce?
There's so many uncles.
Hi guys.
Go on then. Do it.
Hi. I've done it. I've set you up.
No, do it properly. I actually would like you to introduce yourself as me. And I will do you. Let's do Swapsy.
Let's do Swapsy.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Look at the right camera, please. At least do your job.
No,
right.
no. See, I was doing it right.
No.
I was doing it right. No,
to
because
this
I was looking
camera.
at your camera.
We've just switched places. Do it right.
No, then we have to switch places.
Okay, fine. Look at my camera,
No,
and I'll go.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of His and Hers Point of View with your host, Mama Hebz. Mama Hebz.
I can't breathe. I appreciate your effort in trying to be like me. It's actually quite deep that you've taken time out to learn me. Okay. I think I mashed up my makeup. All right. You wanna try again?
No, I'm done. I'm done.
But then it's my
I've done
cue. All right,
I've
cool.
done good there.
And this is me,
No, I don't say this is
Aaron.
me. No, I don't say this is me, Aaron.
What do you say?
What?
Well, I haven't finished yet.
You haven't started. That's not me.
You said
That's not me.
that's not man like Big Aaron. Yeah. Big Aaron. Cuz Aaron. Big Aaron.
I get moaned at for this.
Cuz Aaron.
It's not. I don't say cuz or big.
What do you
Do
say?
I say big? No.
You say Big Aaron.
Nah. Your boy. I say your boy. Your
You
boy.
say
You
your
haven't
boy.
even. How many episodes and you
I'm
don't
not
even know how I
attentive to your
introduce
needs.
myself?
I'm so sorry. Anyway, Uncle Aaron in the building, Mama Hebz in the building, His and Hers point of view, and we take his dilemmas, we unpack them.
I
We get things off our chest.
don't know what that was. How we get things off our chest sometimes.
Always.
We do it because
You want to get things off your chest?
we have stuff close to our hearts.
Oh,
I do.
please go ahead. I've got all the time in the world for you.
I actually know. What did I want to get off my chest? Shopping. In the shops.
Again.
See, when you go in the shops, I want to take us back to the shops. So, for me, what was the last thing I got off my chest about the shops? It was bags, wasn't it?
Bags.
It was bags. So I don't want to talk about bags. I want to talk about people having their week's worth of shopping in a small Tesco, and I'm having to queue behind someone in a small Tesco, which you're meant to be in and out of quickly, convenience,
Mm-hmm.
but you've got your whole week shopping.
What's the point?
Why are we doing that? Why? It's a lot more expensive. And don't come in with, oh, but it might be their only shop
Yeah.
available.
I mean, that
because
aside.
I didn't even know you was going to say that, but I could tell you was going to say that. Obviously, because I know you that well. You was going to come with some,
You did,
oh,
Charles.
I'm here for the people. Like, but someone might not have a car and be able
But they
to
might
get
not
there.
have a car.
And it might
But
be.
they might not have a car.
They might not have a what?
They might not have a
Car. Jinx. I will do the episode on my own. Okay. Welcome to Aaron's point of view.
Technically speaking, we didn't say it.
We
Said
said
Go
it.
beg it. You sound like my child. Mummy say I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you too. Jinx.
You just broke the rules.
Private Jinx. Private Jinx had a set stapler. Touch red. Touch your nose.
Touch your nose. What?
Your cold nose is red.
Oh. Is that's the red thing?
No, so what I was going to say was, how about you write a nice email, seeing you love an email, write into your local Tesco's and say to them, please change the system because it doesn't work in my favour, because no one else gives a rat's ass, because they're here for their own stuff and it's their own shopping, whether they have 10 items, 2 items or 1 item. It's their business. Stop hating. Be patient. Practice it. It's good.
What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? The whole point of get off my chest is for me to get off my
I'm
chest
supporting you.
and then not have something put back on my chest.
I didn't put anything on
You
your chest. I gave you a
basically
responsibility.
swapped.
I gave you a task.
I've given you this. You
I gave you a
said actually
solution.
take that with you.
I gave you a solution.
To what?
To make a real difference, right to the people.
You said
who
no
control
one
it.
cares. That's not a solution.
No, the regular shoppers,
not a
us
solution.
regular shoppers don't care, but Tesco's might care, Lidl might care, Aldi might
I'm
care.
a regular shopper.
Yeah, but message them and let them change their system because it clearly doesn't
I
work
don't
in your
like
favour.
people. Yeah, we're in and out.
We're not in and out.
I've
not
come
all of
here
us.
to get in and out.
But some of us are here.
It's like
because we're
self-service
trying
checkouts, right? I've come to the checkout, to do this on my own. You got a trolley.
Yeah.
You've got a trolley.
Yeah.
It's not the rules.
If it's not a
Hebz.
basket only section, I'm allowed to have a trolley. Say something.
No, but why?
Do you know what the killer is when you have an auntie that comes in with a whole trolley in the basket section and goes, yeah, and what? And she goes, fine, I'll just put everything into a basket and they'll delay the whole queue so they
No,
can
see,
put
I
it in.
don't-
The principle is what matters.
But we've got people that will do the scanning for you. The tills.
Do you know how stacked up those
No,
tills
half
are?
the time they're not because everyone's gone to self-service with their trolleys.
Yeah. Do you know why? Because the system's trying to overpower the people. If they employed more people, they'd have more tills and people wouldn't be so
You know what?
ooh.
You know what's on my chest? You see when you go to like Lidl or Aldi, and
Wait,
you
are
go
we
to the
just changing it?
you go to the self-service, and they've got like 10 tills,
I know what you're gonna say.
and only 5 of them are working.
Oh, yeah.
Why are these 5 not working and you got a queue of 20?
Because they have like one staff member that has to run. That's my issue. It's when
What,
it's
ratio?
when it's self-service, but you can't actually serve yourself because every 2 minutes it's like, please wait for assistance. Please wait for. And I'm bumbled. Like I've had to try and find a way.
Good scanner.
I'm an excellent
No,
scanner.
you're not a good
I'm
scanner.
an excellent scanner.
You're
but
not
sometimes
because
the scales
I don't
aren't
get
on
that.
point.
I don't get that. Well, yeah, okay. When it's like a banana, when you had to weigh it, and then you put it in there, and then the weight's gone.
I know I trick the
But
system.
some
I sometimes
people
I use
don't-
my finger just to weigh it out properly. No, I just find a way to just trick the scales a bit. I'm not waiting for my lady. My lady's got 10 other people going.
Oh yeah, I take off.
Can they
something.
hurry up? Yeah, exactly. So you
Yeah.
know how to trick it. So you can relate. Look at you just hating for no reason.
No, but I'm still
Hater for no reason.
It's not
I'm here
hating.
to celebrate you and support you, and
You
you're
wasn't.
hating. I'm helping you find a solution. Contact
What's
the
on your
people.
chest, Hebz?
drivers,
Just drivers.
BMW drivers specifically, and drivers who don't indicate. Indicators are there for a reason. Yeah, they're not little cute
Left or right?
lights. No, they're not cute lights. But when you're about
Left
to
or
switch,
right?
both.
Okay. Hazards.
Use them. Thank me.
Okay.
Thank me. Hazard lights. Thank me. Do you use your hazard lights to thank people?
To thank people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you flash as well?
To let people through. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
flash police?
Oh, apparently you shouldn't, but I do. I flashed and be like, come, my G. And I'm like, oh, I'm about to get stopped. I broke a rule. But they're not business.
I didn't know you wasn't meant to.
You're not meant to.
No, but you just
Yeah, you're not meant to. It's
Because
actually-
I do
it's
the
actually-
same. I'm like, come.
Yeah,
come.
yeah. It's like I'll pave the way. No need for sirens. I got you. No, but actually, when I was doing my theory, I remember that specifically saying you shouldn't flash. It's not actually code of conduct. We've just decided amongst us drivers that this is what we do. One flash means thank you. Double flash means come through, my friend.
One flash means thank you.
Yeah, one flash means...
I'm just double flashing.
No.
For
Double
whatever.
flash means come. One flashes means like thanks for letting me through.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you double flash someone and you
didn't
keep
know.
going, they're like, what the hell? You just asked me to come forward and you're moving. Like, make it make sense. That's why they get vexed at you.
Because I'm double flashing.
So you're double flashing but not using it right.
I didn't know.
It's alright, man. Maybe in Croydon they do things differently.
But I double flash to say thank you. So they can't get confused by it.
No, double flash.
Because I've come up to you now and flash.
But why double flash? Just flash once, mate. Why are you blinding them for?
It's just habit, innit? It's that just double flap. Double flash. Double flash. Where did the flap
Anyways,
come from?
I don't like it. Some people drive like every day it's fast and furious. Every day is like a race. My G, like I can race you, but I have a child in the back. It's just not worth it right now. So we're just gonna calm down and woosa. So yeah, drivers, like on my way here today, why are you not indicating? Like right now.
Who?
Not you, that
No,
person
no,
in front of me.
Who?
I don't know. But they're just driving and they're not indicating. So
they're in front of you.
yeah, it's annoying me.
Oh, and you didn't know if they were turning left or right.
Yeah, it's annoying me. Because I'm trying to prepare my next. I'm trying to.
Did they
plan my
go
next
left
move.
or right, or did they just?
Yeah,
keep
they kept on switching lanes, and it's just like,
You was too close then.
no.
Yeah, you
I
should
drive
be a
like a
car
bad
distance apart.
All right, DVLA.
You know that though. Car distance apart.
Well, it depends on the weather, actually. Because if it's a really wet day or icy, you should be 3-4 cars
so
back.
at least a car foot away.
A car foot away.
That didn't make sense. Okay.
I'm letting nothing slide today.
It didn't make
Trust
sense.
me. A car foot away.
No one spoke like that. No one spoke like that.
Spiders.
Dilemmas. We here for it.
I mean, can I get stuff off my chest? Oh,
Have
I
you
did.
not? You did. What?
I did. Shush, man. I'm tired. I done did it.
Right.
Oh yeah, go on.
Dilemmas.
Dilemma.
Thank you to everyone that's been sending them in.
Yes, sir.
But please, can I get another thing off my chest? Yeah. It's not really on my chest, but I don't know about you actually. I can't speak for you.
Go ahead.
So maybe in Hebz DMs it's different. But at the RB2M Dilemma page, it's no good saying, can I ask for some advice?
Just run with it.
As a DM. Because I'm not going to respond and say yes. It's an
He
advice.
thinks he's too nice to
It's
reply.
an advice
No, I hate
page.
you. Just
Send
just
your
drop
dilemmas.
Drop the dilemma straight in.
Drop the dilemma in.
Yeah.
And please don't wait for a response to send the rest.
Yeah.
Because I get sometimes people have sent a dilemma. It's half a dilemma. And I'm like, okay,
To be continued.
where's the rest?
Subject to you acknowledging my dilemma.
Yeah. So just send your full dilemma. We're select a few.
Go on.
No, go on. Because it was more important. Clearly. Go on, Hebz.
I
Go on.
was just gonna extend on what you're saying.
Go on. No, extend.
This guy every day's a beef thing.
It's
It's
not.
actually not.
Extend. What was you going to say?
At least you ask for the dilemmas. I get women, which actually is not a bad thing. I get a lot of women who just message me like dilemmas and scenarios, and they just unpack so much. And I didn't specifically request it, but they feel comfortable enough to approach me, which I appreciate.
So
I
what are
think-
you doing then?
What am I doing? I'm
Like-
using those dilemmas.
No, are you moaning at people or are you thanking them? What just happened?
I'm definitely not moaning. I'm grateful, but I can't reply to them. But I do get the whole, can I ask you a question, or can I would like to speak to you about something. So what I do is I offer a live
Bear
coaching.
fiddling with your microphone.
Can I just do that? There's a wire and there's a hole. Okay, I won't touch. Okay.
You know what it is? She needs something to do with her hands. I've noticed. It's here. It's here. It's fiddling. It's something. It's okay. Vogue.
On your own. Yeah. So no. What I'm trying to say is, you request dilemmas, so like it makes sense for you to be very demanding of how they lay it out. Whereas for me, they just send me dilemmas because they feel comfortable enough to do
Because
so.
they love you.
Yeah, and I appreciate them back.
I feel like you're the person people genuinely feel like they know already. Like, oh my gosh, I feel like I know her. I just want to meet her. I always get, she's so beautiful.
Oh,
I'm
a
like, yeah,
catfish.
on the outside. If only they knew.
that
If
burning
only
though.
they knew. No, she's an amazing female. I'm lucky to have met her.
I appreciate you too.
I appreciate
I'm not even
you
gonna
too.
throw fire back at you.
Don't.
But yeah, I think because I'm very honest and vulnerable on our conversations, I think people feel like they actually have gotten to know me. And
Yeah.
when people meet me, they're like, "Right, you're actually you." And I'm like, yeah, because I'm not. It's not a personality. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to put on a persona or a facade. But anyway, it's not the Hebz show, so we'll move on.
I've been told the opposite.
What?
As it about me, not about you. Don't worry. Don't worry, the panic kicked
She's
in.
a mother.
No, because I think my page, it's raising boys to men, right? So it's like even this. What I've appreciated about this is I feel people actually get to see Aaron a bit more,
Yeah.
like the personality.
Yeah.
So when people get to know me, they're like, you're different to how you come across.
Like,
but
right, you actually smile.
but yeah, it's not so. Because I guess what you're seeing on social media
Yeah.
is like the 7th take of
Yeah.
a video. I'm putting this out because it's good enough to be put out. It's not natural, so to speak.
But not just that, because you're trying to push out a message that's very specific. So you need to have a certain undertone. You got to have it's very mindfulness. Do you know what I mean? Like you're here to deliver almost a service. So you got to be aware of how you conduct yourself and whatever. And that's similar to me. People think I'm very serious when they hear my podcast or they hear snippets of it. They're like, "Raw, she's so deep. She's so whatever." I'm like, I'm a fool. I'm actually a clown. But you don't get to see that side.
I think this shows it though, because I think when I watched your podcast previously, you see like personality come through, but not as much as I feel like. I think both of us. I think this has really shown us in a good light. So
people might like us more.
yeah, this might actually do well.
Anyway, she'll get to the dilemma because we've digressed.
Dilemma.
Right.
I've been seeing my partner for 3 years. He has 2 other children from his previous relationship who are 10 and 12. He's known I've wanted to have children and always said he would be happy to have more. Recently, everyone's been asking when we're going to have children, and he's been avoiding the conversation.
Ooh.
I just found why can't I ever get through?
Doing a you.
I just found out from his mother that he has no desire to have any more children. From the mum. Now I feel he's been lying to me to keep me. I've been yearning for children. I'm 3 years deep and feel scammed. What do I do?
He's got to go.
He's got to go.
I think she's got to, okay, so have a conversation with him straight up and get that clarity, because sometimes mums can, like, if she's mothering him too much, she might be trying to say something to push her away, because you know some mothers think that there's no woman that's good enough for their child.
Oh, the toxic mum.
Yeah, them ones. So you got to be mindful that it could be that potentially. So it's best to get that clarity from him and actually get that solid, direct answer rather than him dancing around it or avoiding it or swerving it or giving you some like on the fence answer. But if you're saying you're yearning for children and family, and he cannot provide that, this will not go well. Your heart will never be fulfilled. If anything, you'll grow resentment towards this person. And that scam feeling for her is because she's put so much into this in hope to get what she wanted, which is children, right? So I feel like...
But then you have to ask yourself, what's more important, the children or the relationship?
Children.
See, you know what? I've seen many a men give up on wanting kids now.
Why?
I don't know if it's the climate. Like, I had one friend that say he was very much like, yeah, no, I want kids. I don't want to date women with children because I want my own children, my own family. And now we're approaching 40. It's kind of like, well, I don't really want to raise children in this country. I'm not really happy with the climate. Plus, I'm a certain age now. I don't really think.
But I think that's the main reason why they're a certain age now. So they're having to revise their goals, right? But they're using all these other reasons to why they want to have children. But the fact is, if the woman was to present herself and they both were like, oh, let's have kids, he'd be like, yeah, wicked. But it's because right now maybe he doesn't have a woman yet, and just the concept of trying to, like, I realize some people who haven't found their person and they really want kids, they start downplaying it more and more as they get older, and it's because that's how they cope with the fact that their realities or their hopes isn't becoming their realities. And that can be anything. It can be in career, it can be in whatever. Like, you start downplaying it just to make that blow feel less painful, but when actually you do want kids. So, but there's a difference between not wanting kids because you realize it's not for you, and then there's selfishly leading someone on when you know deep down inside you don't want kids, but you're not ready to let go of it. I think that can be very manipulative.
If you know from the start, like, you've always been very much on the side of intentional conversations at the beginning, right? In order to identify what it is I want and what it is you want.
100%.
If they're not aligned, let's keep it moving.
Deal breakers are
Let's
real.
not waste each other's time. Some men and women, I guess, will tell you what they believe you want to hear. It's hard to differentiate that.
But there's certain things that you should not play with. There's certain deal breakers. If someone passionately, extensively emphasizes on particular things, like I need a guy who prays, I need a guy who earns a regular house. I don't want no side hustle, no drugs, no drug dealing, whatever. I want a person who wants to have more children. I'm yearning for marriage or whatever. If you can't do those things, and that's her or his or hers, whatever, main foundation, like this is what they really like, that's part of their identity and non-negotiable, don't mess with them. Like, as much as you want her, as much as you want him, as much as they're a keeper, as much as, don't mess with their life. They have one life, they have one opportunity, and all you're going to do is just damage them, and they're going to have all this baggage, and they're going to try and move on to someone else, and they're going to be very paranoid and insecure whether that person's being truthful or not. It's just long. Can we just stop? Just be honest. We're grown. We're actually grown human beings.
All right, let's play devil's advocate. Let's just say, for example, I'm a man and I believe, you know what? Like, even where I am right now, do I want more kids? I don't know.
Okay.
I genuinely don't know. If I meet a woman and she's like, I want more kids, you know what? I'm not sure. Like, I think I'd like another kid. I'd love a daughter. Yeah, but I'm not in the space of definitely not, definitely yes. Someone comes to the table like that, what do? You know you definitely want them. Someone comes to the table and says, I'm not sure. Do you say, okay, this isn't for me?
I think it's a big risk. I think
it's an amber like.
It's if someone said to me, which has happened, I'm not sure if I want any more children. I think I have enough already on my end, like where they have maybe 2 kids or 3 kids or someone else. Then to me, I'm not risking it. If you don't say I have a desire for children, or I would love to have as many more kids as I want, or I'd love to have at least one more child, then for me, that is a red flag. I'm not even going to amber it. I'm just going to red it, because I know how much I would love to. I could have had more children. I've sacrificed waiting for the right partner to have more children, and now I'm married with another child. But I waited 6-7 years for that right person. So if someone comes to me 6-7 years and goes, not sure, I'm so sorry, I ain't got time for this.
But then in the same breath,
it can change.
It can change both ways, right? So I could be like, yeah, you know what, I want kids, and I haven't given you a timeline, I haven't said when. I know those things can be discussed, but I also have the right to at some point change my mind and say,
100%.
Actually, this wasn't.
But then you also have to accept that at some point they'll change their mind and go, do you know what, then I got to leave. And you can't keep them. You can't keep them in your space when you no longer are aligned with each other. You have to let them go. Don't try and keep them, because they're already going to struggle to let go of you. But for you to then go, oh, but please say, look, we have 3 years behind us, we have 4 years behind us, we built something, we're engaged. Cool, but you have no desire to have more children with me. Like, and all I've been waiting for is for you to go, let's do this. Is that really fair? No. And I know deep down inside, people know. There's that deep element. I met a girl who said to me, my husband wants children, and in the beginning I said to him, I'm not sure if I want children. And she's like, I tried to be open to it, and now we're like 2 years in and he really wants kids, and I actually don't want any kids. She's got no kids already, but she just doesn't feel like she's in a position to have children emotionally, like for several reasons.
What, as in she doesn't want it now, or she doesn't want it?
She doesn't think she'll ever want kids, if she kept it real. And I said to her, you need to have this conversation with your husband, and if it ends in, unfortunately, him saying toodles, you have to accept that if this is his yearning and desire, you guys will grow resentment towards each other. If you cannot overcome the obstacle, this will never ever strengthen your bond. And that's facts. It's a massive compromise for one person to take on by themselves.
Can I just say, sorry, Aladdin zoned out.
But Aladdin's not part of this.
No, but you know what it was? I'm just thinking the food you cooked, finished him so much. He's been in that seat. But he was zoned out to the point where he's staring at me, and I thought, why is Aladdin watching me so hard? And then I
He was
looked and I
admiring the beard,
realized
isn't it?
Aladdin's not here.
He's not even in the room.
He's not here. He's not here.
He's reflecting whether he wants to have children or not.
And I was trying so hard. I was like, no, this is a serious moment. I can't start laughing. And I was like, I gotta let you finish.
Thank
and then
you
I just
for
had
letting me
to, I
land.
had to bring him round. Men and women's clocks. The one thing for sure, yeah, our clocks are different. Yeah, no,
Yes.
we spoke about it before.
Yes,
Our
yes.
clocks are different.
Yes.
So for me, even though I've got friends that are approaching their 40s, they're like, you know what? I don't think I want kids. That can change because they could still have kids. They could get to mid 40s and say, you know what, actually,
50s, 60s.
whatever. Yeah. When it comes to women and your age, do you feel there's markers where, all right, I need to get serious now? Do you feel like women get to a certain age and say, all right,
I think
I can't. Do you think 30 is that? I've noticed with women that I've dated in the past, it always feels around the age of 30, there's like this change.
there is a transition because like you being in your 20s and then hitting 30 is like a massive, like, humbling moment. You're like, raw. I'm in my 30s, and you start reflecting like, what have I done? Where am I going? People around me have had kids or they've been having kids, and I've got nothing. So you start thinking, oh crap, it's time, like, because you've already empowered yourself enough to not care about what people think about, like, you know, oh, you're gonna expire, you like you've already like made yourself career focused, whatever it is that you've had to do along the way, or maybe you've not had any luck in finding your person. But my point is, some people have chosen to put off having children, and then something's humbled them, and they're like, oh crap, I need to get this, like, my life, like you go from being youthful to like, ooh, I'm getting older. And that moment, it's kind of scary, because then you're just like, I actually need to figure out what I want in my life. If I want to have children, I need to find out like who this person is. And then when you start calculating it, you start freaking out. You think, okay, so if I want to have 2 children or 3 children by the time I'm this age, then you start working backwards. You're like, oh, I should have started yesterday. And then it becomes overwhelming. And then the societal narrative of, well, your pool's getting smaller, you're getting older. Like I've had even women say to me who have no children and no marriage, right? I've heard men tell them, well, if you're single at the age of 35 and you have no children, no marriage, no divorce, something must be wrong with you.
Oh yeah.
And I find that so wild, because some women just are waiting to get with someone who's appropriate and right, because they could have had their own like childhood trauma, but they're like, do you know what, I'm not going to do this to another child.
I'm not jumping in. Yeah.
I want to make sure, and I'm working on myself before I get to that person. And then when they're finally ready, someone's going, well, actually, slight red flag, why are you still single? And it's just like, but actually, maybe because it weren't her time. And maybe she didn't have to make all these mistakes. Why does she have to be walking on all these scars and baggage of like exes and children for you to go, oh, well, maybe she's a keeper?
Did you have, when you was growing up, did you look at age as milestones? For example,
Oh yeah.
when I'm 20, like I want to be married by 26, I want to have 2 kids by this age.
Yeah.
Because as a man, I never had that. I always had a focus on what I wanted. So I want to be driving by this age. I want to have my place by this age, and I want to have a certain amount of money or job by this. It was material focused. I think when women are growing up, yours is relationship, mothering, that kind of. I'm not saying you don't think, you know what, I want to earn this amount, but I think a lot of the times with women, it's I want to be married by this age and I want children by this age.
Yeah, I think it really just depends on your household, if I'm honest. Like, I can say in my world, definitely. My parents were together. I knew that I wanted to meet my person and have children at the age of 22, 23, whereas someone else would think that's wild and think that's like a rookie move, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't do that, but I aspired for it. I aspired to all the marital things, what a home looks like, children, wife, husband, whereas another woman growing up 2 doors down from me, they'll be like, nah, I need to get my money up, I need to make sure I can stand on my own 2 feet before I let a man in. Like, it's because of the way what they were exposed to. So as much as there's a generalization, I don't think it is in this day and age. I think it's more societal pressures. I think some women are quite comfortable to be single and be like building on themselves, and it comes from maybe their mum being a single mother and not wanting to repeat the history. So they're like, I'm not rushing into having children anytime soon. So to an extent, you're right, but I think some women are thinking more like men now. not in a masculine way, but in a, I don't want to repeat history. And how can I safeguard it and they take it maybe to another level where it shouldn't have to be like that, where they kind of neglect the self requirements of being a nurturer, the natural instincts, and think about how can I protect myself and not have to go through more trauma. And as a result, you're
constantly on the defense.
And it's unfortunate, but it's their environment. Do you know what I mean? So I got to give, like, I can't, there's a hardcore feminist who's like, I don't want children, I can do this by myself, I can have like IVF by myself, and the sort of man-hating energy. And there's those who actually, they're just trying to navigate, and it's just coming across as if they don't need a man or they don't need whatever, when actually they do.
And like you said before, it's about they're able to let go of that once they find the right person that makes them feel comfortable and safe enough to do so, right?
And I agree with you. Like there is a possibility you might say I don't want children, and you meet the right person. You go, do you know what? I'd love to have children with this person. Like just seeing her.
That you see when it's more. I want to have children because of you. Yeah. Like you meeting you, connecting with you, loving on you has made me want a version of you. Like let's create a mini version of us, and because I feel so comfortable here, so our minds can change. But I think staying in a relationship when you already know this, I want this, and I don't really think this man's gonna give it to me. That could be anything. That could be a child. That could be a ring. That could be whatever.
It could be like promising a marriage that never happens.
Resentment can easily start to kick in.
It harbors that, and it can get ugly
when you start to resent someone.
100%. I don't resent people. I can't. Like I've seen resentment, and therefore I can't even begin to put myself in that environment. I don't hold resentment towards my ex. I take L's for me choosing to be in a situation more than I should have been. I don't hold resentment. I actually feel bad for him. But like to grow resentment in your heart, that's a heavy feeling. And I've seen women walk this earth with resentment, and men, whether it's with their parent or the father of their child or their sibling, and it's ugly. Like it's a weight on your shoulders, and you're just viewing the world with a different lens. So like before you even get to that point, just honestly, it sounds really light and easy for me to say, but when you have this honest conversation and they don't align, keep it stepping. There are several people on this earth who will serve you more than what this person can do. If the children is like 4th on your list, 3rd on your list, but companionship's number 1, and traveling, and you guys can both do those 2 things, you can maybe compromise on the children. But if children is top on your list,
so it's based on priority. It's
based on what you're true yearning for, on your purpose and your existence. What are you trying to achieve? Some people just want to see the world with one person and experience the world, and they don't really think they're responsible enough for children, or they think there's too many kids on this earth, like whatever reason, right? And that's cool. That's what gives you peace of mind. That's what gives you purpose. Run with it. But you can't force someone to align with your views. Like I can't force someone to adhere to my deal breakers. What are your deal breakers, by the way? Over to you, Aaron.
My deal breakers?
Yeah, what are non-negotiables? So hers is probably children.
Hers is okay.
So what's for you, like where you can't be with someone?
You know what?
It?
I don't think I spoke about this because I think I only done it the other day. I actually wrote out, I've got a Word document.
I told you to write one out.
Yeah, I got a Word document on my desktop.
Good.
It says my wife.
Yes.
Yeah, it says my wife, and it's got non-negotiables, and then it had needs and wants. But then as I'm writing it out, I had some stuff in my wants, and I was like, no, actually, they're needs. And it wasn't until I wrote things out that I was able to say, okay, this is how it looks, and no, this is more important to me than.
Yeah.
But I was going into the world not actually knowing what are my non-negotiables, what are my needs, what are my wants. So I'm just going to be accepting anything because I'm trying to figure it out as I go along, rather than saying, no, this is my recipe. This is how I want it to taste. Cool. Is it realistic? I'd like to think so. I think non-negotiables were things like smoking, for example. That would have previously been I need someone that doesn't smoke. Like, no, this is a non-negotiable. If you smoke, I'm not. It doesn't mean you're a bad person.
It's just not for me.
Just not for me.
100%.
Same thing with drugs. A need, for example, is someone that is very loyal. Like loyalty, respect. Those are needs because they're character traits, I think. My non-negotiables were things that you may do.
Yeah.
That just straight away are like,
yeah.
I like, no, but it was interesting to write it out.
Honestly, I remember we spoke about it last time off air, and I said to you, when I was getting to know people, and people said, what is it you want from a man, or what is it you need? And the more I thought about it, the more I'd go, oh, and this. So I started writing it down.
Yeah.
And it turned into an essay. What went from bullet points turned to like extensive writing of like really trying to nitpick and dissect what it is that I want, from the small yearnings, like the little tiny cute things, to like the deep things, and even like the physical things, whatever. Like if you're thinking about a life partner, don't shy away from talking about everything. Like with my husband, before we got married, we spoke about everything, our desires or whatever, like privately, publicly, why am I going to shy away from speaking my truth? And obviously there's an element of worry that if you're going to tell someone what you want, they'll become that person.
Yeah.
But you're not naive enough. I think we have to be pretty naive to like not see things for yourself, because actions speak louder in that sense. So my non-negotiables that threw people off was no drinking, no smoking, has to pray, like has to be Muslim. And the amount of non-Muslim men who went at me and they're like, Hebz, but like, I'm a good man, there's this Muslim man who's this, that. I'm not referring to that Muslim man.
Yeah.
Because that Muslim man will come in my life and I'll be like, goodbye. Because he's not meant for me. Do you know what I mean? Oh, but you know, there's hella Muslim men who do this and do that. That's cool, but they're not my person.
They're trying to convince you.
Yeah, they're convincing me that faith isn't a matter. I said, but faith is my foundation. And I'm not trying to take away or discredit you as a person, but our worlds aren't aligning. And they're like, oh, so you're judging me because I do. I'm not judging you. We're still cool.
But that's the thing. Your non-negotiables are not there to be... you're not trying to convince anyone about your non-negotiables. You're not trying to say, look, these are my non-negotiables, you have to fit them.
Step up to it. No.
This is your non-negotiables where you're saying, you don't connect with me already.
We're cool.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
My wants, it's interesting because my wants were like 5 foot this. Yeah, looks a certain way. Whereas back in the day, I was going into the world saying, just thinking that's all I wanted. Do you see? Like, I want a girl that looks a certain way and behaves a certain way, and she might be into fitness and whatever. That's so low on my list.
Yeah.
But you don't realize that, because all of that is nice. That's the package it comes in, but what's in that package?
And that variable changes. All these things,
yeah,
they can change. They can be into fitness one day and then like falls off a little bit.
Falls off.
So it's about something deeper than that will actually hold you guys regardless.
Family orientated. That's what I said. That must be family orientated.
Yeah.
Because I've got kids. So if you're not interested in family, if you're not trying to, you already.
That's so important. Yeah. Not 100%. And I think that's things to pay attention to. So like someone spitting bars is cool, but then how are they with family? Like pay attention to those small details. So like, for example, the whole drinking thing or smoking. I remember I met one guy and he smoked weed, and he was like, oh no, but I don't smoke all the time. And he's trying to sell it to me. I'm like, my friend, like if you're smoking and you're content with it, I'm not judging you. Like, do what you need to do. That's between you and God. Like, that's your relationship. That's your vibe. That's your energy. I'm not trying. But then he's still trying to convince me, and then it got like into a defensive situation, because I realized that actually every time I see you, you're still smoking. You're still rolling up. There's still this. There's still that. And then he thought I was trying to come at him. I said, I'm not coming at you. I'm just saying, like, that's your truth and that's the situation right now. I'm not looking at the potential of you, because I feel like I'm too grown to think, oh yeah, maybe 10 years from now you might stop, or 10 years from now you might want to get deeper into faith. I'm not risking that. Right now I got to take you and accept you as you are. I'm not going to try and shift you and mold you and like convince you to line up to me.
But
like,
he's trying to, it reminded, when you were saying that, it reminded me of when I used to walk through Croydon and people were trying to sell me their mixtape.
that still happens today, innit?
And I didn't want it. Yeah. I knew I didn't want it. But he's trying to convince me, you need this. Yeah. Yo, if you heard it, no, track 9. Look, £5. I ain't got £5. All right, £3. You're trying to do everything you can to persuade me to take this product that I know I don't want. And then I ended up taking it. And what would I do? Half the time, just throw it in the bin.
Yeah.
But I've already come away with, I'm £3 down.
Yeah.
That
There's
to
no
me,
point.
it's the same thing. A man's coming into the picture trying to say to you, those non-negotiables, you don't really...
Aaron, and there's so many people who are trying to convince other people that they can be that person, or, oh, don't worry about it, or like they're just trying to keep them. And I think the worst thing you can do is trying to keep someone under false pretenses. Just accept, this is who I am and this is what I'm about, and they just have to either go, do you know what, cool, I can run with this, or do you know what, if I'm honest, I think I'm at a point in my life where I'm okay. Like,
was you ever persuaded? Like, was there ever a man that came
Yeah.
into the picture that made you say,
one guy was like, I'm faith available.
faith available?
Faith available. He
That's
used that
a
title.
line.
So he believed in a higher being, but he was very curious of different faiths. And me and him had so many conversations that I was like, all right, cool. Like, I met him for other reasons, and then it kind of like we started talking about each other, like our lives and stuff. And I was like, this guy's interesting, different. But then what I realized is he's actually quite comfortable being faith available, i.e., he's spiritual, agnostic kind of vibe.
Everything.
Like, he's just open. Like, he takes a bit from here and here
Buffet.
and there. Yeah, basically, like, all you can eat vibes. Yeah, literally. So in that sense, where I thought on paper you're cool, and I actually think you'll be a decent dad, and you are a decent dad, and but I'm not going to convince myself because we vibe that this is going to be it, because there'll come a point where I need to pray with you. There'll come a point where we're going to raise our children and they're going to look at you for that first move, because they're going to follow your actions and they're going to follow your words. You're the leader of the house. So I had to just make peace and go, do you know what? You're a cool guy, but you're not my person. And I have had to accept that. And people have had issues with me because I'm just like, I don't know why you're trying to convince me you're my person, because it makes it harder for me, because I want to find love and I want to be convinced that you're my person.
Yeah.
So I'm already battling with my own like voices telling me, oh, give it a go, Hebba, man. He's cool. Like, you're like, they're not a person.
I'm not doing it no more. Like I'm fully convinced, and I'm trusting my intuition as well. If it don't feel right, it don't feel right. It don't feel right. But in the past, I've been out here, I say this respectfully, trying to build a bear. I've been trying to build a bear. I'll find, like, he's looking at me. Like, I'll find someone and then be like, you know what, but I can help mold you and make you better, and I can build you and we can work together. Now, how are you? And if you wasn't to change,
can I accept that?
Can I accept it?
100%.
And if the answer is no, you already know.
And the thing is, I think what it is, when you're younger, you feel like you have that flexibility.
You got time.
You got time on your hands.
Yeah.
Whereas now, the way you say I'm so straight up and raw, and it makes sense to be so straight up, but it's obviously your delivery. Don't be rude while you're being raw.
Yeah.
But like, the directness is appreciated to the right person. So like, there's nothing wrong. Like, you can help someone, you can elevate someone, you can better someone, but they have to be willing to be in that position. So if you and I were together, for example, and you're very forthcoming with growth and I'm very forthcoming with growth, when we meet each other, we'll bounce off each other's energy, and therefore you always make me a better person and I'll make you a better person, and we can criticize each other, and I can be like, look, what are you doing in the gym? Blah, blah, blah. Have you thought about this? And like, as a result, we're growing together, and we're not going to shy away from that growth. But if one person's trying to do it and the other person's resisting, then we're falling apart. It's got to be a two-man show. Otherwise, what are we doing
Leads
here?
to nowhere.
So in this case, like, okay, I know we keep digressing as we do. If it's a deal breaker, non-negotiable, you already know the answer.
I feel like this one's straightforward. Although there's levels to it, I feel like it's straightforward, because you've made that point. You've talked about how important your deal breakers are, and owning that with chest. And to me, we've got two people here: one that really wants children, and one that's not
got children.
One that's got children and hasn't even been forthcoming enough to tell you. I would identify through him, because one thing you haven't done here is actually spoke to him. Yeah.
Well, I guess she has, but he's just been swerving it for some reason.
So the fact that the mum said,
there's more clarity.
You go to the mum. Do you go? Wait. Do you snitch on mum?
Yeah, ragga.
So you go to hubby and say, look, your mum said this.
Or you can do the whole, like, you know, when like you got the evidence, but you're waiting for them to confess.
Yeah. Play fool to catch wise.
What he said. I think approach it, and also like the whole fertility clock thing. Don't let that be a reason to like make you feel like, oh, I've been here this many years, I might as well just give up on the idea of having children. It's never too late to have children unless your body tells you it's done. So like, no matter how much time you wasted with that one person, it doesn't mean that you can't restart your life or continue your life without that person and actually have children maybe 4 years later than anticipated, 5 years later than anticipated. Like I said, I waited 6 years between child 1 and child 2. 7 years between child 1 and child 2. And it was God's timing. I'd rather be in this environment than to be in a situation where the other person is resistant and doesn't want to be there the way I want to. We're not as invested.
But you know what? I would say though, if I'm talking from the man's point of view, then he may not really be into the relationship.
Yeah.
Because
Very much
they're
so.
not married, are they? They're in a relationship. Because how I view it, right? I've got Amari who's 16, Tyler that's 10. There's a 6-year age gap between Amari and Tyler. Right? If I was to have another child now, there's over a 10-year. I'm starting again.
Yeah.
If I'd have to meet the right woman to really say, all right, you know what? Let's do this, and I'll start all this whole process again.
Yeah.
He might just not be committed to this relationship.
But then it goes back to the whole, if you're not into her like that, why are you still keeping her, right? Which we've spoken about in the past.
Yeah.
So in that case, stop misleading her and saying, I want to have children. If you know already, like, do you know what? She's not really the woman I want a wife, and I don't really see her as the mother of my children. If already you've had that honest conversation with yourself, I don't see her as the nurturer of my children, then let it go. Why are you keeping her for? Why are you blocking her next blessing?
Yeah, we've agreed and disagreed on this, because I still think we're expecting something from someone else, right? So we're expecting the man or the woman to turn around and say, I'm no longer going to keep you, so I'm going to tell you this. And that person doesn't have that choice if you say to yourself, this isn't for me, I'm gone. Do you see what I mean? As a man, I'm waiting for my woman who's mistreating me or doing whatever, or holding back information, to come to me and say, you know what, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be open, I'm going to blah, 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 blah. You can now go. And I'm saying, I could just say,
get that, yeah.
I might, that could come 2 years down the line.
Yeah.
But what we have right now is the understanding that you're uncomfortable. You're not happy.
But the realities are, we're just set up that way where we're clinging on to something, we're holding on to something.
Yeah, the smallest thing, yeah.
And that's normal. It's just normal, like, I guess it just makes us human, right?
Doubting yourself.
Yeah, not just doubting, but like, we might even have hope in their potential.
No, but that's what I mean, in the sense of doubting that, well,
Your
actually he does love me and this, that, I mean.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I guess so. And it's one of those things that we just learn as we get past that experience. We can never learn it at the time. And we can even look at someone else's scenario and still think we're not that woman. Like, nah, I'll never be that woman. I'm never going to fall foolish enough to be in this relationship. But you are. You have been that woman. And it's because you're naive enough to think that this guy's spitting bars and his bars are so strong that you're convinced to hang on for another year. Yeah. Then another year. And before you know it, you're like, raw, we're 5 years deep.
Yeah, you're in prison. Bare bars.
That's what I'm saying. So I think people need to just speak with chest. And on that note, is there any final words?
No. Speak with chest. Own your SHIT. That know your non-negotiables. Know your non-negotiables. That's how I would end this. Know your non-negotiables and be comfortable with them. Know them off by heart.
Do you know what? On that note, just extend on what you're saying, do what me and you did. When I came to find my partner, I wrote things down for clarity for myself. Like you said, you get clouded. You don't know what your priorities are. You think that's very important. It's a deal breaker. But actually, upon reflection, other things take precedency. So in order to learn yourself and learn what you truly want, take time out and put pen to paper, phone to finger, whatever it is you want to do, and just figure out what it is that you truly want. And then don't be apologetic about it. Just do it. And
pray on it. So I don't pray on it.
Look at that.
Pray on. No, you have to. You can't have this list and then not bring faith into it and say, 100%. You know what? 100%.
I didn't want to get all deep with like
no,
extra
pray
layer.
on it. Praying on it.
Praying on it is such a big deal.
Yeah.
It's such a huge thing. But yeah, we're done. I think we're
done. We're done. You can send in your dilemmas to RB.
Stop looking at the wrong camera.
I know why. You can send your dilemmas. You know what it is? That's I feel like that's completely out of your view.
That's excellent.
Which is why you don't look at it. Yeah. Send your dilemmas to RB2M Dilemma on Instagram. You can find me at raisingboys_to_men on Instagram and TikTok. And you can find this lovely lady
on I Am Hebz on Instagram and Mama Hebz on YouTube and TikTok. Thank you very much, guys. We appreciate you. God bless.
I don't know what this is.
I don't know you, bro.
His and her point of view. In this world where we grew, there's his and her point of view. His and her point of view. In this world where we grew, there's his and her point of view. His and her point of view.